Morning.
Yep.
Hey, good morning,
Yep.
Coach.
What's up, everybody? Hey, GM. Let me tell you something, GM. I'm feeling freaking nice today, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, what a time to be a Jags fan, right? Like, hey, I mean, when did we think that we would be this far ahead? You know?
I've got to say, you and Quint, when we did our season predictions at the beginning of this year,
Mm.
I'm way off. I had 8-9, and you guys, well, you had 17-0. I think Quint, I can check
I'm
what he
pretty
had real
close to
quick,
that.
but
I'm
you
pretty
guys are on
close to that.
fire. Look, man, I'll tell you what, let's just dive right into it. Jags are on fire. Quint had 10-7. So Quint, as long as we don't lose out, Quint,
As
I
long
hope
as we
you're wrong.
don't take Quint's schedule there,
Yeah.
and
Oof.
we lean to mine. But I want it to be known at the end of the season, I don't believe that we're gonna lose out. So I just want it to be known that my prediction was the closest option to what actually came to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like I deserve some sort of reward for that from the Two in the Teal show.
Right. So
Um,
just so you know, if we were to go 12 and is it 12-5 it would be?
yeah.
Quint would actually be the closest because he had 10 wins and 12 minus 10 is 2
I
and
got my fist in the
17
air
minus
right
12 is
now.
5.
I got my fist in
Uh
the air ready to
in
punch.
fact, I would even be closer with 12 wins because 12 minus 8 is 4 and
Ready to
17 minus
punch
12 is
through
5.
the screen
So
because
there's
I don't
actually
watch football with math. I watch it with my eyes.
you're right. Yeah. Hey, look, let's just get right into it. The Jaguars have finally had their turn to beat up on the bad teams. So, when we were looking at the schedule, and we talked about this, people could learn a lot if they would just listen to us. But,
Yeah,
and
sure.
of course, I lose. Okay, here we go. When we were looking at the schedule at the beginning of the year, Marcus, Panthers, Bengals, Texans. So
Scary.
Panthers, the Bengals. But at the beginning of the year, everyone's dangerous. The Raiders beat
Oh
the
yeah.
Patriots at the beginning of the year. Bad
Isn't
teams
that
don't know they're
crazy?
bad yet. Yeah.
Isn't
Bad
that
teams,
insane?
everyone's feeling good. Bad teams don't know they're
Yeah.
bad yet. Like they all have hope. So
Yeah.
the Panthers win, by the way, has aged kind of well. And we beat up on them. We didn't just, it
Oh yeah.
wasn't a close game, beat up on
No.
them.
Yeah, we stormed them.
Bengals, don't get, oh my God, it feels like a lifetime ago, but it should have been a Travis Hunter pass breakup to finish the game, but ended up losing to
Dude,
the
oh
Bengals.
yeah. Yep.
So Panthers, Bengals, Texans, 49ers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams. And we came out of that 4-3, I think. And
Yeah.
and then we finally get our turn so then we get the Raiders off the bye. It took us to overtime. And then we get Texans again, Chargers. So we beat up on the Chargers. And then, Marcus, it's finally our turn for our Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets run. And all season, it's been like murderer's row for the Jaguars. And we did lose to the higher quality opponents. Rams beat us up in London. If that punt return by Parker Washington, if Jerry Jones didn't get the penalty and then all of a sudden I think it was going to be 14-14 or something.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened then.
Different game.
By the way, kind of same thing with the Jets game. If that punt return didn't get called back, it would have been 21-14. Who knows what would have happened? But,
Sure.
it happened. So I'm like, okay, now I'm even on these bad punt calls. Fine. We got one, an opponent got one. Seahawks. Everyone's all over the Seahawks right now. We were in that game after Monday Night Football. You and I were there, by the way.
Yeah, dude, we have early in this. What amazes me, Ethan, is like we have that record early in the season with the drop issues that we had. Like this team fought back from like offensive miscommunication, bad drops, receivers getting upset, and yet we still managed to come out on top. And that give me that Seahawks game back with the Jags that we are now.
Yeah.
Like we win that game, dude.
Yeah. And
with Jacoby. Come on.
So since the bye week, the only loss we have is to the Texans, where we had a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter, and everyone's all over the Texans, and for good reason. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are unbelievable. Derek Stingley is, when you watch him in person, it's so natural to him. You can just tell like he was put on this earth to play defensive back in the NFL.
Yeah, he's good.
And then
He's really
that
good.
Kamari Lassiter, Jalen Petrie. I mean, the Texans are just riddled with talent. Years of good drafting stacked up. We had a 19-point lead on them without Brenton Strange, Devin Lloyd, Jacoby Myers was his first game with the Jaguars, and they had Davis Mills instead of CJ Stroud. What I would say to that is, well, up to that point of the season, CJ Stroud wasn't playing that well. They were almost,
Right.
you could swap one for the other, and it wasn't that big of a difference.
Yeah.
The
And
Texans
D
look
Mills
better
is
now.
nice. D Mills is
And
kind of
Davis
nice.
Mills is a high quality backup quarterback. And, and by the way, when you get these backup quarterbacks in the game, we've talked about this. Sometimes it's not so easy because you know what they do? They go, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to throw it to Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. And guess who's winning their matchups most of the time? Those guys.
Those two, yeah.
So the only loss since the bye week is a freak 19-point lead fumble that, by the way, if one offensive line penalty away from Cam Little having a shot at a 61-yard game winner in a dome with no wind or anything. So I like his chances there.
Sure do.
The Seahawks loss, we've talked about this. A Travis Hunter offsides negates a Brian Thomas touchdown, and who knows what would have happened after that. So anyway, and that's all with drops, bad defense, blah, 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 blah. Trevor is just now getting in his groove, and he finally gets his turn to get confidence and get some rhythm going against bad teams.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And it's so funny to me to see all like the haters saying like we're the most overrated team that has playoff capabilities, and I'm like, okay, I can see why you think that because like we're the Jacksonville Jaguars, but like we're the Jacksonville Jaguars with no draft. We're the Jacksonville Jaguars with a first-year coach and a brand new staff, a brand new offense, and Trevor is just now hitting stride in that offense. And it's like, I honestly, Ethan, think that we're finally starting to see the capabilities of T-Law. Like in one sound fundamental offense that is formatted around his play style. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then getting him the weapons on offense that is going to catch the ball. Brenton Strange is back. Hallelujah. Jacoby Myers is nasty. I mean, he grabs everything that comes his way, and we're starting to see like the full capabilities of like what we have. And I've talked about in the past, like just being 20% better on offense each week, and we're like unstoppable. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we're unstoppable that way.
You've been nailing this all season about, I don't need mountains being moved here. I need one or two plays here and there.
Yeah.
And instead of, I think it was 20-16 against the Seahawks, who knows? I mean,
easy,
it's literally one or two plays here and there. I don't need mountains moved, right? And
no.
Let me tell you a fun fact. Brenton Strange, we're big Brenton Strange fans. Brenton Strange and Parker Washington have made themselves so wealthy this season. I mean, they cannot leave the building. They're foundational guys. Marcus, did you know that Jacoby, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas, and Brenton Strange have played, I think, a total of one game altogether?
That's so crazy to think about.
BT got hurt, Brenton Strange got hurt, Jacoby's relatively new back, and I think it was that Jets game, or it might be two games now at this point, but they've only all played one game together. And
that's so crazy.
And think about, and when you get a Jacoby, it's like, so we're seeing what the offense is now. Brian Thomas stretched the field. If he gets a favorable one-on-one, you launch it to him. Maybe he'll draw a pass interference. If not, like, I like the aggressive. Like, Jacoby and Parker are doing your intermediate, reliable, catch the football, and I feel like I'm missing somebody. But Brenton Strange then is, John Gruden posted his Jaguar Bronco breakdown, and he did a whole 2 minutes on Brenton Strange, talking about how he disguises his route running, talking about his blocking, talking about like he's one of the quietly best tight ends in the NFL. And dude, it's really starting to fall into place. When did we see Trevor Lawrence play his best prior to this season?
When B. Strange was on the field. That's for sure.
Yes. So one at Clemson where his team was an all-star cast.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But then that 2022, that playoff run.
Yes.
And again, we've talked about this, man, people could really learn a lot if they would just listen to us,
yeah. Okay. More like listen to you. I just chime in with the key parts here.
But
you got the stats.
He played his best ball with Marvin Jones Jr., Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. He doesn't need, oh my gosh, look at this guy, whatever. He just needs catch the football, be in your spot, offensive line, just hold up. We don't have a top 5 offensive line, But good Lord, going from like
Oh my
31st
God,
offensive
yeah.
line to 16th offensive line is unbelievable for Trevor
It's
Lawrence. And
amazing, dude.
um,
Amazing.
ETN's
We
been playing out of his mind.
Dude, we don't have, like, the superstar wide receivers in the NFL.
But
You know
I
what I
keep
mean?
forgetting we have Travis Hunter on the team. What's
I
his
know.
ass up to?
Wait, I mean, you would think you would, like, see him on the sideline, right? Like, maybe they would pan the camera to him or something,
I
or is
think
that
because
just
he's
not a thing?
recovering, he just like you go
Okay,
do
they're
you.
keeping
Yeah,
him until next year, just keep him
yeah.
in wraps. I get it. But we don't like that crew, that wide receiver group, like they are not, you think about some of the star wide receivers who have done all these amazing things and the crazy one-handed grabs and whatever you want to say. Like we don't have any of those guys. Like this is
No.
a backyard football style
Yes.
offense with guys that have a lot of heart,
Yeah.
and a good work ethic. Like
Yeah.
I like to think that you get a guy like Jacoby Myers, he probably works his tail off to be where he's at, and that's kind of what I wanted all along out of the Jaguars. Like, sure, we went and we made this crazy draft and we sacrificed so much to get this kid out of college who's the next best thing. Sure, we did that, but that's not really what I ever wanted out of my Jaguars. I wanted a group of guys that are just like core, dedicated, heartfelt, team bonded, like ready to rock and roll and put their heads to heads and man, it's such a pleasure to see like our team after so many years not looking to get Trevor, one guy. Like have we ever seen the Jags in the past 3 years spread the ball out on offense as much as they're doing it now? I mean,
I think
it's beautiful. It's
I
gorgeous.
think
Every script in the past couple of weeks, I've been like, these coaches are writing the most like sexy poem that I've ever seen of football on offense and defense, and it brings tears to my eyes, dude.
yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
jacked. Oh my gosh, Ethan, I'm
Yeah.
fired up.
I think Doug Peterson had some good
God, I'm
times in
fired up.
Jacksonville, but I think he was hindered by a bad offensive line. And that's what always frustrated me about the Doug Peterson era is when you go back to Doug Peterson's Super Bowl winning team, he had the number one offensive line in football. And Trent
Yeah.
Baalke just was doing nothing about the offensive line. He drafted Walker Little and then they drafted Anton Harrison. So maybe whatever. But the interior of the offensive line, he had Kelsey, Fletcher Cox. He had these
Right.
guys, and you can't do the same things that you want to do. He had LeGarrette Blount. He had Jay Ajayi. Like, had these guys that he just, the roster wasn't working with what Doug Peterson liked to do. And then there was the whole issue with him passing off the play calling. You just nailed something about the play calling. You watch the Bears, watch the
Uh-huh.
Jaguars,
Uh-huh.
watch the Patriots with Josh McDaniels now.
Yeah.
You start to learn that play calling, and I didn't really know this or realize this, I guess. It's kind of thing like somebody had to kind of tell me, but it's an art form, play calling.
Yes. Yes, it is.
To have
Absolutely.
a feel for the game and have a feel for
For sure.
who's hot, what can we do, what matchups can we take advantage of, what would surprise them right now, what would get us, don't overthink it, hey, I just need 4 yards, what should I do to get these 4 yards? Like, it really is an art form, and we're watching Liam Cohen, and same thing in Chicago, same thing in New England. Like, the elevation of it has just been amazing to watch.
It sure has, Ethan. I mean, you think about like I watched this video of this guy breaking down an offense better than I ever could, talking about like cover 3 defenses and things like that. And they run a specific play and they watch the way that the defense reacts, right? They're going to set up the exact same formation, and instead of doing this specific, route, they're going to run it and do a different cut, or they're going to, play a safety deep and like run a route, throw a ball underneath, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like the good coaches in the league, especially the offensive minds and the defensive minds, they're not just coaching players to be the best that they can be, right? They're not just telling them, here's how you need to hit your assignments, here's what you need to do on this specific play. No, they're like developing a game plan around their players, and
Yeah.
they're putting them in positions based on the defensive players that they're going against and saying, I think that if we ran this specific route with this specific person, that he's going to be open right here. And they're doing that on the sidelines live.
Yeah.
They're not just Madden playbooking. They're like, did you see the Seahawks Rams game?
Yes.
The
What a
thing that I
game.
thought about most, what a coaching matchup
Oh,
that
man.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a battle from start to finish, and like hats off to both of those teams. They played freaking
Oh,
amazing.
unbelievable.
But like you just saw the creativity and the
Sean
skill
McVay,
behind.
and I think it's Clint
Yeah,
Kubiak at the Seahawks. And Kubiak, he was with the Saints last year, and he was the one that rattled off 2 like 40-point wins to start the Saints
yeah,
season off. And unbelievable.
creative.
Sh- And Liam Cohen is from the Sean McVay tree. And uh, you I feel like the Jaguars, with the hire of Liam Cohen, have entered the realm of modern offensive football.
Totally, totally. Like smart, consistent, execution, not just like here's my NFL players, let me have a playbook and let me just call plays and see who calls the better plays. No, it's like I'm crafting this thing up to like beat you bad,
Yeah,
because I'm going to dissect your defense and I'm going to play good offense and put my players in the, by the way, not all-star players in
yeah,
positions where they're going to be
yeah,
successful, and protect my quarterback.
yeah.
16
Yeah,
16th best
16.
offensive line in the league
Yeah,
from last year. I
yeah,
mean,
it's
that blows me
unbelievable.
away, dude.
Um, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota gets a ton of credit and a ton of hype from the media, and deservedly so. I mean, he won 14 games with Sam Darnold. He had Kirk Cousins,
Yeah,
and now he's doing it with JJ McCarthy. But same
yeah,
thing. He's from McVay's offensive coaching staff, and so he's viewed as like the quarterback, like rehab center. Because Daniel Jones goes to him, and Daniel Jones now looks pretty good. Sam Darnold looks to have resurrected his career, and then JJ McCarthy looks as meh as anyone, and he was tearing up the Cowboys on Monday Night
right,
Football right in front of my
right.
face.
Yeah, that was rough.
And ugh,
That was
and
rough.
and the Cowboys defense has their issues, but like Liam Cohen is every bit that I've seen so far of Kevin O'Connell, and guess what? Liam Cohen does not have Justin
Huh.
Jefferson,
Yeah.
Jordan Addison,
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson, and their left tackle. I forget his name, but he's great. It, and by the way, he doesn't have Brian Flores' defense with like whatever. And he's doing it with a roster that is eating so much dead money. They got rid of so many of the old bulky contracts. He's doing it with they said this at the beginning though, that this is not a 4-win roster. This is better than a 4-win roster. And you're seeing guys like Antonio Johnson, who had all the physical gifts in the world, and Campanelli kind of playing to all these guys' strengths, playing to this zone rush with 4 eyes on the ball. I actually watched one of Sean Payton's the Broncos coach press conferences because I wanted to hear. Sean Payton's a really smart, brilliant coach.
Yeah.
Wanted to hear what is he saying about the Jaguars. First thing he brought up was, well, it's because the guy asked him the question, but it was one of the things he said about the defense, and he was like, "Look, sometimes you play defenses where corners can't catch, right? A lot of
Yeah,
corners just drop the football, right?"
for sure.
And he goes, so when you game plan, then you can kind of scheme up like, let's take shots at these guys. Let's be a little more aggressive. They'll probably drop the interception anyway. They have Cortland Sutton. They have really good receivers. So like, let's give our guys a chance. He goes, the Jaguar corners all catch. Their DBs all
Yeah.
catch the football. And when I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, he's right. They, I
Yeah,
don't,
what
they,
a compliment.
they've caught like every possible interception gone their way, like maybe one or
Yeah.
two here and there. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, we haven't had some like heartbreaking dropped interception.
Yeah, no, they're really catching the rock. That
Yeah.
transaction in the air goes
Mhm.
both ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That transaction goes
Yeah,
both ways,
defenders are
dude.
allowed to do it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
great point, man.
he also brought up like just he brought up D line, Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker. He was like, those are going to be matchups where the Broncos have a really good offensive line. Wait, before we get into the Broncos, let's talk a little bit about sports media. We have gripes to discuss here, but
Can I drop one more thing about
yeah,
the
please,
Jags real quick?
please.
D- I don't know if this is how this actually works, but it makes sense in my mind, right? So I imagine that the head coach he's got a book, right? And he's got a book, and as the head coach Cohen progresses throughout the season, he turns the page, right? And
Mhm.
let's imagine that every time you turn the page, it's like offensive and defensive schemes and all that good stuff, right? So chapter one, first game of the season, right? He has this specific set of this certain chapter in the book. And it's the specific plays, specific defense. It might not be the best that he has crafted up, but it's a pretty good one.
Mhm.
And as the season progresses, the chapters and chapters, they lead up and they become more and more interesting,
Mhm.
right? And the game plans become more and more mischievous and skeevious
Yes.
and
Yes.
and so as the season gets deeper and deeper, you flip to a specific chapter and it says like read if you dare to continue or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you flip the page and it's like top secret. You flip the next page and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Mhm.
This is what you have, like
Yes.
seriously. And so I have this like feeling that, he's starting to open up like what he's really got. What he
Yes.
really put away so that we can get through these tough games at the end of the season and get into the playoffs. And, I feel like that's the best strategy that a coach can have because you don't want to come out in the beginning of the season with everything that you've got as far as a coaching strategy. That way you can save your deepest, darkest secrets for the end of the season when it matters most in the playoffs. Does that make
Yeah. Oh,
sense?
it's brilliant. Yeah. No, it's yes. It's such a great observation because it's what the elite coaches in the NFL do. Andy Reid
Yeah,
he breaks out plays in the Super Bowl that nobody has ever seen before.
right. Like they're pocketing that away.
It, I remember when they beat the Eagles in that Super Bowl a couple years ago, they had two different touchdowns on kind of the same concept where their receiver lined out wide, starts running in, breaks it back out wide, and but it was wide receiver 5 and 4 doing it. It wasn't,
Yeah,
uh,
like, oh wait,
y-
we never saw that on film.
right. It wasn't
You
their
know?
stars. It wasn't Travis Kelsey. It was Sky Moore and McCole Hardman. It was the guys that oh, I didn't know that you had it in your playbook for him to do that. And uh the Seahawks game, the game-winning 2-point conversion in overtime, the tight end that caught that football, second catch of the season for him.
Wow.
It it's what the brilliant modern offensive coaches are doing, dude. So, by the way, look out for the Hunter Longs, the Johnny Munts, the Quentin Morrises. Yeah, and by the way, we haven't mentioned Tim Patrick yet. Shout out to him. He's played really well too.
He really
Um,
has, yeah.
Look out for these guys that just have kind of flown under the radar.
Yep.
Hunter Long, Johnny Munt. People are crapping all over De'Ami Brown. It was a good signing. Okay, at the
I'm good
beginning of the
with
year, it
it,
was a
yeah.
good signing. Raised the floor of the team. He's just had some drops, and then he goes in the Jets game and fumbles, and I'm like, oh,
I know,
dude,
yeah, that was tough.
oh man, But guess what? What if in the wild card round of the
Yep.
playoffs they break out something and De'Ami Brown 40 yards to the house? De'Ami
Look
Brown,
out.
quick in breaker, boom, touchdown.
Yep, look out.
Look out for that. I don't know. That's brilliant, dude. I bet Campanelli's scheming up blitz packages that he's like,
Gotta be.
yeah,
Yeah, gotta be.
Monteric Brown hasn't had a corner blitz yet. Watch this.
Yeah. Yep.
So I love that. I love that. Modern NFL coaching. And it's a good point too, because I remember it was a Steelers primetime game. I forget who they played against this season, but I saw Julian Edelman on a show the next day talking about Tomlin has run the same defense for 20 years. He goes, it's all the exact same stuff. He was like, yeah, you just run crossers over the middle.
Hmm.
He's like, every time we played the Steelers, I would get like 120 yards just by running crossers over the middle. And it was against the Bengals, and the Bengals won, and it was just Joe Flacco running over the middle to Jamar and T
Yeah, oh
all night
yeah, I
long.
remember that.
And
Yep.
people like it was Edelman was saying that's the same thing. And we have coaches now that adapt, evolve. Who's our talent? What's our roster? What do we do to work with that?
Dude,
Great
yeah.
point. I
Thanks,
love
man.
I love
Let's
that. God.
let's hit some media
I
stuff.
love that.
Come on, baby.
Okay. So the Jaguars are 10-4, and Jaguar fans are amongst the most like easily triggered, but they're defending their team. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's having a lot of pride. You easily just want to start defending your team because
Yep.
what does the national media say? They're irrelevant. You can't trust them. Blah 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 blah. Which, by the way, weren't we in the AFC Championship in 2017? And I've got like a Texans fan saying like, oh, you can't trust them in the playoffs. And I'm like, sir, we were in the AFC
buddy.
Championship
Yeah.
like a few years ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
With Blake Bortles.
With Blake,
Blake
dude.
Bortles.
Dude.
With the
Don't get
boat.
me started. I freaking
And
love Blake Bortles.
like,
dude.
so, and then, but the problem is that our highs are high and our lows are really low. So
Real low.
I understand if somebody goes like, you can't trust the Jaguars. Oh, Trevor Lawrence isn't that good. And then people start freaking out going like, you don't know ball, whatever. And I go, hey, to be fair, Trevor's not been very good a lot.
Yeah. I mean, respectfully to whoever says Trevor is not that good, I don't think we've ever seen him play as good as he's played in the past couple of weeks. So
Oh, he's just beat a good team. Oh, you
Yeah.
mean like the 49ers, the Chiefs, the
Yeah.
Texans, the Chargers?
like,
Nope.
dude, I
No.
think that he just hasn't had a fundamentally sound offense that works around him and his
Yeah.
capabilities and his strengths, you know? So
Yeah.
piss off maybe a little bit. I don't know.
And so I'm seeing national media guys, and this is the problem, is that where I get frustrated is I'm like, they're making millions of dollars to do this, by the way. That's where I get
Uh-huh.
frustrated, that I'm like, this isn't like some 9 to 5, 70 grand a year gig you got going right now. It's a media guy who makes millions of dollars who doesn't know anything about one of 32 teams.
Yeah.
And so the Jaguars, shout out Noah Thomas, he did the most recent video about we're keeping a list, checking it twice, and it was about like some guys disrespecting us. And it was these guys on FS1, and it was Greg Jennings, one of the great Packer receivers ever with Aaron Rodgers back in the day. But he was like, when I see the Jaguars, I see a team that's being carried by its defense. I just see a team that doesn't threaten me in any way. And I go, that's just textbook. I haven't watched a snap of Jaguar football. I haven't watched film. I haven't read up on anything. I'm just saying crap that comes out of my mouth. And I'm just
Right.
saying how I felt about the Jaguars over the last 10 years, and I'm just applying it to this team currently now. It's lazy. It's insulting to the people who don't make nearly as much money as you do.
Right.
It's you're in the most outrageously privileged position in the world to talk about sports for millions of dollars, and you can't even do the homework on one of 32 teams.
It's clickbait, dude.
It's clickbait. It's disrespectful. It's I mean they should be fireable offenses. So anyway, the Richard Sherman beef. Marcus, have you seen this at all?
No, I've got, dude. We said it before we went live. I have no idea what you're talking about because
Okay.
I don't look at it. So you're gonna get a real live reaction from me right now.
Okay. Richard Sherman, gonna have a gold jacket, Legion of Boom, was on the Seahawks, then the 49ers, won the Super Bowl.
Super great in his prime, yeah.
Great. Talked crap to Brady to his face. Great player. Unbelievable
Yeah.
player. A 6th-round pick that entered college as a wide receiver, right? Like,
Yeah.
great story, everything. Big personality. So he's always, and you see this a lot with former players, he's always not liked Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence made the money he made.
Uh-huh.
And Richard Sherman, I think he's probably a really emotional guy. I don't think he's a very like analytical, objective thinker. I think he's a really emotional person.
Sure.
So he immediately is like, in no world should Trevor Lawrence be making that much money. He makes more than Matthew Stafford. And those are fair points, by the way. Like, I'm not
I think
disputing
those
that.
are fair points, yeah.
But you see a lot of former players who, like Richard Sherman, because he played corner, he goes, I never sniffed the money Trevor Lawrence is making, and I was all pro. I'm on the all-decade team. So they get bitter and angry, really immature, emotional guy. Richard Sherman,
Mhm.
great player,
Yeah.
great player.
Yeah.
Gold jacket, one of the best. So he's always been like, whenever Trevor Lawrence has a bad game, ooh, Twitter fingers, baby. Oh man,
Really? Okay.
can't believe this guy's making $55 million a year. Oh my gosh,
Wow.
he's just a guy. I don't see anything special. And then Trevor Lawrence rattles off a 6 total touchdown game. And, people will tweet at him going like, hey, any thoughts on Trevor Lawrence's performance today? And again, emotional guy, he can't just say, didn't watch, looked like a good game, congrats, whatever. No, it has to be like, I don't even bother watching Jaguar football. They're irrelevant.
He said that?
Oh, he's straight up beefing with Jaguar fans on Twitter. He straight up said, the Jag fans have pushed me to dislike their franchise as a whole. Something along those lines. He tweeted it. Marcus, he works for Amazon Thursday Night Football. What if he has a Jaguar game on Thursday Night Football?
What in the world, dude? Relax.
Relax. I mean, and this is the problem. You get these former players who think that they're going to like elevate the football conversation. And it's like, no, you're just one of us. You're a fan too. So
Yeah.
get off your high horse. You're one of us. Okay?
Relax, dude.
And it's okay. But it's like, if he has a Thursday night football game and the Jaguars are on it, which we'll probably get one next year because we were good this year, so we're going to get a primetime game. And we won our primetime game against the Chiefs, so now maybe we have a little more trust to get primetime games.
Sure.
He's not going to be able to be objective. Oh, and if it's in Jacksonville, people are going to be like, I'll throw a beer at him. No. But
that'd be fucking hilarious.
I should have had the tweets ready to go, but I mean, it was just insane. And anyway, what do you think about national media people who just hate the Jaguars?
Dude, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, I understand in this case, him saying like, oh, he should never be paid that much, but like, how did he hurt you, man? Like, you are
Right.
a former elite NFL player who's got this giant contract to broadcast and talk about the sport that you love so much. Like why do you have to go out like on your own limb and talk trash about somebody else, dude? Like, whether he's getting paid what you think he's getting paid or not, like, there should be like a level of professionalism in his,
Yeah.
case of, now he's like broadcasting about the league and stuff. Like, I guess all that professional is just out the window with someone who reacts so emotionally.
Yeah.
And then to like make it a case to say like the franchise has no respect because of the fans. That's kind of like digging your own hole, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
what are you trying to accomplish by hating the fans for loving our
Right.
team?
And-
Unless the fans are taking to Twitter and they're saying like, you were terrible in your day, like blah, blah, and they're not saying anything that's actually
I have it.
emotionally correct. But
I have
oh,
it.
you
Can I
have
read
it.
it to you?
Yeah,
All right.
please.
So it started with a tweet about something about hospital balls. He was like, what are the defenders supposed to do? Whatever, because they get flagged when they hit a defenseless receiver. He was tweeting something about like, what do you expect the DB to do? Fair. And then somebody responded to it and said, interesting how he suddenly stopped tweeting about Trevor Lawrence. Again, as soon as Trevor Lawrence isn't playing well, woo, baby. Oh man, how is he making all this money? Because he's bitter and emotional and mad that he never made that much money, which is fine. I get it.
Whatever.
I get it. Somebody less talented than you at the game of football making way more money to play the game of football because of position. I'm sure that's
in the
frustrating.
quarterback spot.
I'm sure that's frustrating. He responded, I stopped watching them altogether weeks ago. He said, what kind of NFL analyst isn't watching a first-place team this time of year, coming off a 4-win season too? And he said, fair.
That's a fair question, Jag fan, wherever you are.
And then, by the way, his response is totally fair and totally professional. One that doesn't need to speak about the team. They aren't on the Thursday night football schedule, and they are not the target audience of my podcast. He's a Seahawks and 49ers guy.
Okay.
If they win a playoff game, that will give reason to watch their tape. I think that's
sounds really good.
Really respectful. I think that was very good. And then somebody, I think nicely followed up and said, it's a 10-4 team versus Broncos next week. So he said, it's a 10-4 team versus the Broncos next week. How is that not a marquee matchup of all the teams to be a hater of? A small market team you barely played against. It just seems random. And this is where it should have ended. It should have ended. Like, he shouldn't even have entertained this. But then he goes,
you would think he wouldn't.
The fans have pushed me to dislike them. Really have no care either way about most teams. But when fans are obnoxious, that changes things.
What?
By the way,
what do we do?
Find me the super respectful, not obnoxious fan base. Are they not all obnoxious? So anyway, he has a anti-Jags bias because fans are mean to him on Twitter. By the way, Marcus, this is supposed to be a tough guy. Is there a bigger fake tough guy in the world than professional athletes? I mean, like, the fakest tough guys. Like,
I mean, they're tough in the aspect of like the sport that they play, but I think that there's a lot of like and you got to think, like, if I were in that position, man, I would just be humbled and happy to be there. I'd be like, dude, all these teams are great. All of these athletes are great, whether they're playing at a high level that they should be or not, whether they're getting paid X dollars or not. Like, they all clearly deserve and earned the right to be there.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has earned the right at a chance to be an NFL quarterback. And
Yeah.
so, those, I just don't see how you would respond, being in the position that you're in that way. Maybe, come with a little more poise and say, I think Trevor is a one heck of an athlete. I think he has a lot more to prove, and I don't know if what he's proven has earned him his salary, but we'll see. Is kind of
Right.
like a response that you would expect, not just
Right.
like, oh, the Jags fans have made me hate their, like, what is that, buddy?
No, they get bitter and angry.
Dude, before this, man, I was such a Richard Sherman fan.
Oh, he's awful.
Like,
By the way, he's awful on TV. He has
I
no
was
analysis at
such a
Thursday Night
fan of him.
Football. Oh, he's all
Right.
emotion, no analysis, no nothing. I mean, he's just
That's what I
awful.
loved about him, is that he was like, so passionate and so confident in his abilities, and like he proved it, but like,
Yeah.
dang, man, I'm kind of upset as a Jags fan that
So
hurts.
anyway, but point being, like, that's fair. They're not on the Thursday Night Football schedule, and
Sure.
they are not the target audience of your podcast. That's totally fair.
Should have ended
What
there.
you did not need to do is go like, I hate their fans.
Exactly.
Also, Richard Sherman, you're a multi-millionaire national broadcast TV.
Yeah.
What are you, chirping with random fans on Twitter? Loser. Start a family. Go hang out with your kids. Like, anyway.
That's yeah, man. I
Chirping
listen
on
to
Twitter is for losers like me, not you, Richard
Yeah.
Sherman. Like,
dude, I listen to the JRE all the time, man, and he was always talking about like, don't go and feed into the social media, like,
no.
obviously though, that's like his job, is
Yeah.
to be good on social media. And now I wonder if Prime is just thinking like, oh gosh, like we got to get this guy trained on what to do and what to say.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna lose a lot of publicity and stuff for if we do
Yeah.
get a Thursday night,
It's going to be one of the storylines is like Richard Sherman, who works for Thursday Night Football, hates Jaguar fans.
Or maybe
Like,
they're sitting there and they're going, yes,
they're like,
we
this would be
love
beautiful.
this."
A Thursday
Yeah.
Night Football game in Jacksonville. And just
Let's
fans
get
can
him
be
week
like,
one.
I hate you, Richard.
Week
Yeah.
one.
So anyway, I mean, yeah, big matchup against the Broncos. Look, it's not that complicated. Broncos have a really good defense, a really good offensive line, and really good receivers, and really good
Yeah.
running backs, and the quarterback is playing really well. And the Jaguars kind of have the same thing going for them. Probably a less talented roster overall. The Jaguars have. It's going to be if the Jaguars win, which I honestly don't expect them to because of the altitude, because of just how good the Broncos defense is. The Broncos defense, Marcus, has 58 sacks.
They're very good.
The Jaguars have
They are
28.
very good. Yeah. Yep.
They're so good. And that's
They
by
are
the way, they
very
have the
good.
defensive player of the year in their defensive backfield as well. And I saw somebody say, it was Bucky Brooks. He was saying, like, with all these matchups, blah, 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 he was like, 16 and the receivers have to have a good game because the Broncos play man-to-man defense because they have Pat Surtain is just going to shut someone down. And then it's, can everyone else win their matchups? Bretton Strange, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers. It's going to be big games for them. Get ETN going. It's not that complicated. Run the football, stop the
No.
run, limit big
Yep.
plays. It's not that hard. It's hard, but it's not that
And
complicated.
for me, it just comes down to win or lose. I don't really care. Well, I do, but I don't. What I need to see is a competitive game. As far as like, this is like a show. Playing this match here, is that, are we able to hang in a playoff conversation?
Right.
If even if we lose, but we play a hard fought game, like, you're gonna tell me from the other night, like, the Rams shouldn't be in the playoffs because they lost the Seahawks? Absolutely not. They played a really competitive game, and it just so happened that it fell into the Seattle's favor. And so it's like, just be able to compete, right?
Yeah.
Show that you have the grit and the desire to be where you're at, and like, you're good with me. Obviously, we'd love a win versus a loss, but show me what you got. You know what I mean?
Completely agree. Completely agree. Like,
Yeah.
we can be upset with a loss, but it's also like, if we lose and it's, 24-21 and we were right there and maybe a couple of calls didn't go our way type of thing, then it's like, okay, well, I want to exit the game going, oh, I feel good going in the playoffs. I feel good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's
If
with a win,
we
great.
get wiped,
That's with a loss,
okay.
fine. Yeah.
We have to compete, dude. Got to compete.
Yeah. If we win, there is a path to the 1 seed and having a bye week in the playoffs, which would be pretty
That would
tight.
be huge.
But then that's one less week of Jaguar football. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, man.
you take
Look,
what you can get.
It's a great game. Really excited. Big test for Liam Cohen and the Jaguars. It's the game historically that we would go, oh, we're not winning this football game. But how many times have we said that this year? Chiefs Monday
Yeah.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we keep saying,
I
like,
didn't
oh,
say
we're
it
going
one
to.
time, but
Yeah, you didn't say it one time. But yeah, man. I mean, against the higher echelon of the NFL, Seahawks, that's 2 losses, split with the Texans, beat the 49ers. We're about 500 with like the higher echelon of the NFL. So this could go either way, I feel like. God, I hope we win.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I'll be on a flight for the first half, unfortunately. But
You could probably watch it on the flight, dog. You
it's
should be able
not.
to.
It's also not being nationally broadcasted. It's only regionally, like in Jacksonville and Denver.
Really?
I think the Bears Packers overtook it.
Ugh.
Or something. I forget. Either way, big game. Very excited. 16, need you. Keep forgetting that Travis Hunter's even on the team.
Who is
And,
that?
Dude, by the way, the signing of Jacoby Myers, I saw people saying that means they're going to trade Brian Thomas in the offseason. I'm like, what? No, I think it just means
Why?
I think it means Travis Hunter, welcome to the cornerback room, buddy. You are a primary
Yeah.
corner. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, love it. All right, bro.
Heck yeah, buddy. All
Let's
right,
have a
man.
good Saturday.
You have a great Saturday. Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to you, Luke. I know you've been wanting us to rip a pod, so love you, bro.
We'll get some YouTube shorts out of this, and I'm gonna go lift my face off.
Nice, dude. Nice. I'm gonna play some Arc Raiders probably, and then I'll do that a little bit later.
Hell yeah. All right, bro.
All right, buddy. All right, man. Peace.
Happy
Bye, everybody.
Saturday.